Hello, my name is Mike, and welcome back to Overwatch. We are down to the final three heroes, the final three that are very difficult. Zenyatta, Orisa, and Doomfist have some pretty crazy achievements, and today we're gonna knock out Orisa's. To get Orisa's cute spray, you have to amplify 900 damage with a single use of her supercharger. 900 damage does not seem like a lot, but it's actually more difficult than it lets on, because it doesn't count the damage done to an enemy, it only counts the damage done to an enemy that you have contributed. The bottom line is, after you've activated your supercharger, you've got 15 seconds for your entire team to do 2,700 damage. That is 1,800 damage that they do, and then an additional 900 damage that you have helped them with. Most enemy teams are not going to have that much health, so you're going to have to destroy everything. You're going to have to destroy barriers, turrets, anything that you can damage. You destroy it as quickly as you can. Otherwise, you're not going to get enough damage done to unlock this achievement. I figured I could put the supercharger down right here, right near the enemy's spawn, right at the very end of the game, and they just rush out and get shot down by us. But it was difficult to deal damage to the enemies because they weren't anywhere near us. And then Zenyatta goes invulnerable, so any damage done to him doesn't count. We try and do some damage to the Roadhog, but it wasn't really enough for the team to do a whole lot of damage. Here the enemies are clustering around us on King's Row, all pushing on the point. Now is a good time to put down the supercharger, but you have to protect it because the enemies see that and they want to destroy it as quickly as they can. Here comes this Zarya, and she just completely removes it from the game before we can get any damage done. And I got about 288 damage boosted from that, which is nowhere near what I needed. This is the point where I actually got it, and I got really lucky because there was a Zarya helping me out. She launches a Gravitron, which pulls a bunch of enemies into one area, and then I put down my supercharger, and then Hanzo fires his dragons. Or wolves in this case, I suppose. And you can see that it kills the Junkrat, the Mercy, the Genji, and the Pharah. But the Zarya and the Zenyatta managed to escape. Looking back, it doesn't seem like that should be enough because Junkrat, Mercy, Genji, and Pharah together only have about 800 health. So how do we deal 2,700 damage? And the answer is that the Zenyatta is healing them the entire time. So while Hanzo's wolf dragons are going through them at 300 damage a second, Zenyatta is also healing them at 300 health per second. So it's just this back and forth tug of war where they're just getting damaged like crazy and healed like crazy. And that did a lot of damage and gave us the requirement. My stats show that we did an additional 1,200 damage with the supercharger, which means that we did about 3,600 damage total. So that was quite a lot of damage done in a short period of time. And if you thought that achievement was difficult to get, just wait until you hear the requirements for her pixel spray. Using her short-lived halt ability, you have to pull enemies into 1,000 damage with just one single halt, and that is going to be very difficult. It requires a lot of coordination, and in my opinion, there are two ways you can get this, neither of which are incredibly easy. You can fire your halt into an allied Zarya's Graviton Surge, and then hopefully all the damage done in that Graviton Surge counts as damage that you've done with your halt as well. And you can see that I almost did it while I was getting the cute spray. I tried to get them both at the same time, but my halt just fell short. I triggered it too early, and it didn't actually hit any of the enemies. But if I had put that halt in that Graviton Surge, you can bet that I would have done a lot of damage, and I would have gotten the pixel achievement as well. The other way you could get this achievement is to pull enemies into a large amount of burst damage. So for instance, a Tracer Pulse Bomb ultimate, or a Junkrat Riptire ultimate, or my personal favorite, a D.Va Mecha Explosion ultimate. If I can pull enemies into any of those, that would probably count as well. So that's what I did. I would play a bunch of quick play games, and at the beginning of the game I would ask for a D.Va, a Zarya, a Junkrat, or a Tracer to partner with, and most people were happy to help me out with this. D.Va has just told me that her mecha is about to explode, so I pull enemies into it, and I hit two of them. I got the Genji and the McCree, but the Reaper Wraith forms away, and that's not enough. That's only about 400 damage. Here our Reaper is about to jump down on the Mercy and the D.Va, and I figured I'll give it a shot, and it does about 400 damage, which is still not enough. Here's another D.Va explosion, but I'm only able to grab one enemy Hanzo, so that's even worse. Only about 200 damage done, so that doesn't count.
Okay, Orisa, I think I'm gonna grab now.
I have no idea what happened here, because I heard the grab surge trigger.
Where did
and then it just kind of glitched out of existence. I was starting to think maybe I'd never get this one, because no matter how much I coordinated with the teammates, I could never pull enough enemies into it. I was starting to feel a little down, a little dejected, feeling like it was out of my reach. But I just kept persisting, I just kept trying, hoping that eventually I'd get lucky enough. Diva tells me she's ready to set her suit to explode. And sure enough, I grabbed as many people as I can, and I got 3 of them, and that 3 was enough. We do have the achievement unlocked now. The 3 enemies that we grabbed are Lucio, Zarya, and Roadhog, and they have plenty of health. Additionally, the enemy Lucio just dropped the beat, used his ultimate, so everyone's got a bunch of shields, and they get destroyed almost immediately with the mecha explosion. So that explosion probably did about, I would guess, roughly 3,000 damage. So yeah, that was certainly enough. And with that, we have now crossed Orisa off the list as well. Orisa is a pretty fun character, but I wouldn't mind if I never played her again, because those sprays took way too long to unlock. We've only got 2 left, Zenyatta and Doomfist, and I'm suspecting Zenyatta's gonna be the next one if we can get any of them at all. Until then, my name is Mike, and this has been Overwatch. Thank you for joining me.